Hey, you guys hear me in YouTube land? Please let me know. Anybody out there? Bueller. Thank you, Jim. Alright, I'll be back in 1 minute after the disclaimer stuff. If I can find it.
This disclosure statement deals with risk of loss in trading stocks, ETFs, commodity futures, derivatives, options, forex, and cryptocurrency. This risk can be substantial, and therefore investors should carefully consider their financial suitability prior to trading. Past performance is not indicative of future performance. The software, strategies, chat rooms, websites, and any associated websites or digital venues are for educational purposes only and should not be construed as an express or implied promise or guarantee that you will profit that losses may be limited in any manner whatsoever. Users of the information accept full responsibility for the outcomes of their deployment in most Apple Trader, LLC, and any associated companies, agents, management, owners, and customers harmless without reservation. Please trade responsibly. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, Rule 4.41, hypothetical and simulated trading performance results have certain inherent limitations, some of which are described herein. No representation is being made that any account belongs likely to achieve profits or losses similar to those shown. In fact, there are frequently sharp differences between hypothetical or simulated performance results and the actual results subsequently achieved by any particular trading program. One of the limitations of hypothetical performance results is that they are generally prepared with the benefit of hindsight. In addition, hypothetical trading does not involve financial risk, and no hypothetical trading report can completely account for the impact of financial risk in actual trading. For example, the ability to withstand losses or adhere to a particular trading program in spite of trading losses on material points which can also adversely affect actual trading results. Because these trades have not actually been executed, the hypothetical results may amount to or overcompensate for the impact, if any, of certain market factors such as lack of liquidity. There are numerous other factors related to the markets in general or to implementation of any specific trading program which cannot be fully accounted for in simulated trading or in the preparation of hypothetical performance results at all, of which can adversely affect actual trading results.
This trade room and this webinars are not intended to mirror my trades or to give specific trade recommendations. Analysis of I share trades and potential trades and I take things up based on my personal analysis. The goal of this room is to teach trades that are specific areas of trading and natural results that ultimately make decisions. Trading is extremely risky and you decide on my personal trades, you sort your own risk and potentially lose your entire account. I'm not always profitable and I have 14 drawdowns on my trading accounts. The spreadsheet you have access to is my personal spreadsheet that I use to enter zone value BTR values and how many people exact prices of my trades. You can see when I enter zone prices into the master spreadsheet as well as the prices of the trades whether you have long or short. You have the ability to copy the spreadsheet and enter your own values and just mind to confirm zone prices until you're able to draw the zone spread for yourself. The spreadsheet is not telling you which direction to trade, it has entry prices and stop prices for both long and short positions depending on which one you personally decide.
All right, good morning. Happy New Year. Markets are actually a little active today. I haven't gotten any events in the equities here, but I'm expecting one soon. Both these markets, the main two equity markets, ES and NQ, looked over the abyss. I was waiting for a potential fail balance breakout of this guy. And it came down here and put in a whopping buying tail. So you can see that. That is, you can see even on the board, that's probably the biggest buying tail on the board. Very important information when a market rejects like that, that quickly. So what I'm on the lookout for here is you can have balance there. So either one of these are failed balance breakdowns as well. So if I get an event here, I've got that trading strategy that I can put on among others. We'll go over those, but again, this is the biggest signal that this market is probably going to rip. If it comes back and recaptures that, then it's going to get killed very likely. So right now I'm focusing on that move. Just a thesis. A thesis is a guess. I have no idea what's going to happen. I watch the real-time volume events and I trade accordingly when they happen. So if I get a volume event, a little higher than this guy, so a little bit above here, I'd say, maybe 585-ish or higher, I will take the FBBs. I can even take it off of this guy, like I said, but I need a volume event, and I would trade double-sized longs too. And then you're also developing, so balance areas are fractal, right? You got balance, 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 and then this is one bigger balance. So balance are just areas of trade where traders are placing bets. So if this rips out of here with elevated relative volume, I will take breaking away strategy too. So when I'm talking about strategies, I'm referring to this document. So we have long-term trading strategies, we have reversion strategies. We'll go over all this, but these are the trades that I'm watching for here. We got that one too, but fail balance breakdown in this case, and then a breaking away if it breaks out of that bigger balance 200% or more relative volume. Again, I need to see a volume event first and foremost. So we'll cover that if it happens. And Q looks even more bullish because it did get through this high volume node all the way through it, right? And then just put in this whopper. So both these markets look like they're going to rip off the page. Again, if something happens and they don't, then they're going to get killed. So it's if-then scenarios at all times in trading, and then my followers, room, look for volume events and trade in the direction. But the idea of a thesis is, again, I'm a day trader. I'll trade both longs and shorts, regardless of my thesis. If I get my events in my area and the volume events match those, as far as my requirements. But if I get the volume events in the direction of what I think is going to happen, aka a thesis, then I trade bigger A+ setups, we call them. All right, I'm currently long crude here. We've been talking about crude for a few days. Of course, they do the sneak attack at night. I've been waiting to get long this thing. You know, we had the holiday and everything, so it did exactly what it. We've been talking about this for days, weeks. Balance, balance, balance. Fail balance, break down there, break out of that, break out of that. So this looked exactly like it was going to happen, aka thesis, and it happened overnight. So regardless, I am long here, shorter term stuff, just bark and lick off of the stop run earlier. So we had this event here, it got to the ATR, tagged the ATR, came back to the zone. This is the pattern that happens non-stop, and then as it moved back up here, I got long. Actually, I got filled on the wrong price there. I put this at the wrong price, so my price should have been here. The yellow line is the entry point, but I try not to enter in prior events, but I should have been long here. I was long like at 25. I don't know what I was looking at there, but either way, I'm still long. I just got it long at a worse price. And then this came in. I could still take barks and licks off that potentially. If it comes back, meaning I can add to those trades. Bark is just a blind ATR retest of any event that happens, because so I have important areas I look for these events to happen, but I know the edge is inherent just in this event, right? Because this is concentrated volume areas. That's the whole driver of my trading. So I have a trade off of that, or I can take ATR retest confirm trades. They're called barks, blind ATR retest confirm. The only thing with that is I need algo guide, this exponential moving average. I need this in the favor of those trades, and this is definitely in the favor of a long bark. So that's why I took that bark and lick. And when a lick is a bark, you're just trading to longer term liquidity. You can see here, whoever this guy is, firm, said, you know what, let's go ahead and move it up here. I think we're coming here. So that's telling you something too, as far as the bigger money is moving their size up here. And remember, this stuff is magnets. So anyway, I'm long off that guy. I'm sorry, this dude here. If this were to come back and retest, I can add to that, and I can potentially add to that. New events, right? So I did trail my stop. Actually, I did not trail my stop yet. This was a new event here. So this is the beauty. This is how I trail my stops. I trail my stops based on something that's happening in the market, not something that I want to impose my will on the market, meaning, oh, I have a profit, I'm going to trail my stop so I don't give back my profit. I trail my stop based on something that's happening in the market. So my stop for this guy was here, 72, 72-ish, and I trailed it up to here. I didn't want to stop out in the middle of the zone, so I moved it right below there. Now we have a new event. Now the stop's there. That's the yellow line. I'll move it here, below here, so I don't stop out right in the middle of this. If you really want to, you can move it down here if you want to risk an extra 20 plus ticks. There's two school of thoughts here. You could say, hey, this market's very bullish. I don't want to get stopped out in the middle here. I'll move it below here. Or you can say, no, I'm not going to move it all the way down there, because if the market's very bullish, it shouldn't come all the way down here anyway, even to the original stop. So I will just move it here below the zone. Again, this is where I should be stopping out for that event, right? But I don't want to stop out in the middle, so I'll move it there. And then you do have this if you really want to, just move it out of all that. But I'll try to contain, especially because I entered at the wrong price. I got too big a size on for the price I entered. So I'll just move it just below this ATR, this zone, 7303. Actually, I have those in, sorry. I did trail those stops. So 7303 is where that's working. Then I'm looking to add. There's other trades here that we can take too. those trades have been ridiculously good. I'll show you a couple in gold today alone. We have the back and back trades, so we have these reversion trades. So there's three different types of trades that I'm taking. Position trades, like the bark and the lick, where I'm looking for bigger moves. Then we have reversion trades, where we're trading just like this for moves back to the volume event, which happened just, it's insanity how often it happens in all these markets. So we have a trade for that. We used to, you could take these aggressively the minute it hits the ATR to come back. A better version is what's called the back and black now, where you wait for it to hit an important area. So these are Mentor Q options areas where you know these dealers are going to be hedging. You wait for it to hit an important area. It's not just Mentor Q. I have my other important areas too. But if it rejects off these areas, you take the reversions coming back, and I can show you about 20 of them right now that I've been. I lost it. Well, I'll find it here in a second. So anyway, back in black is this trading strategy here. Take 1, 2, or 3 ATR backdoor reversion entries after market touches an important area. So I have my important areas, you may have yours. You wait for it to touch it, and it shows that it's going to reject that area, and then take the reversions coming back to the zone. So you have the extra help. The reversions work on their own as it is, but then you have the extra help of these areas that traders are trading off of rejection that helps propel the market back to the volume event. After market touches an important area, begins to move back the given ATRs back to the SI volume event. Stops replace the normal prices. So I'm sure we'll take some of these because they're all over the place. I did not take this one in crude, even though we just did the 1 ATR. So these dotted lines here are the ATR lines. This is the 1, the 2, the 3, right? So this one worked coming back off of the 1. There was nothing for me to get short the 1, but this just shows you how often these markets do this. So we'll cover these as it happens. And the other thing too, for the back in black, I tell my trader all the time, this is already retested. So say this pops up here, tags this GEX level and starts coming back, I won't take it. I won't take the 2 ATR and the 1 ATR that time because I'm looking for the first retest. That's just happened, so I'm out. What I can do now though, this is a bark and a lick add. ATR, retest, confirm. I gotta get this in like right now. 73.38, and I could put on 17 micros. Put that on. So I'm already long bark and lick. Now I'm going to add to the bark and lick. Alright, those are working. So we already covered this, but I went long this guy. ATR, retest, confirm. That's what bark is. Blind, A is for ATR. This is to, what's his name in the room? He's not understanding what it was. Mark, if you're watching. Mark R in my trade room. ATR, so blind. Blind meaning it's anywhere, right? I don't care if it's in an important area. It's just trading off the event. Blind. A and bark is for ATR. ATR, that's the blue line. It's a 5-minute while there's ATR. Retest is the R. Confirm is the move back out, and we get in 115% of an ATR. We don't get in right at the ATR because these algos always fight it back. So if we can push out of there, so blind, ATR, retest, confirm out of the zone. That's what BARK stands for. We used to call BARF, blind ATR retest failure, meaning the area. Confirm is a better word, or a better term. So anyway, that's what I'm doing there. There's been nothing in equities, which I'm very surprised, especially after this huge buying tail. So Spot Gamma was looking at this 5,900 area. He said if this thing can get under this, and it just barely poked its head under, this would cause that big buying tail. He said next move, next place down, we'll read it, is 5,800. When he talks that way, pay attention. So again, this rejected, it's kind of just how you can see all these gamma levels up here. This is Mentor Q. I'll put here, let's just do it right now before I forget. All right, I just filled on the adding bark and lick in crude. There's my document. And again, guys, if you got questions, put them in the YouTube channel because I don't see the other stuff. Post that in here. And then for the mentor Q, I think I just have the yearly in here. Yeah, I got it. So here, as we talk about these, because you guys just want to try it out for the month too. Use this one. I'll post it in the room. Actually, I'll just put it in this document too. Let me get it real quick. Sorry, having trouble finding it here. Alright, so this is the monthly if you don't want to, if you want to try it out before you get to yearly. I mean, the levels are ridiculously good, and they have them for all the products, right? So, I love Spot Gamma as well. Spot Gamma only has the main products in stocks. I want to see these options level, these gammas levels in crude, gold, natural gas, wheat, beans. So that's what, there you go. I'll put this in the room as well, or in the channel. This is method Q. Clarence, sorry Scott, were there any strategies on AS base and stop run at 1540? I don't see a stop run. There may have been one close to threshold, but it didn't fire off on it. Didn't announce it or draw it for me. This was close. You could have drawn it, but it didn't. The reason it didn't, I didn't do anything because I didn't even hear this fire off. So I'm not really seeing anything here that you could have taken aggressively. It never retested the zone, so, and it wasn't threshold anyway. So for me, so I'm still waiting for some kind of. We do have something in YM. We can head over there. Hold on. Looks like it should be short, maybe. Keep an eye on soybeans too. A bunch of buy ice here. I just kept adding or combining these zones because this is probably one ounce in the zones. It's only 3 cents wide. We got some wheat stuff too. All right, so we had a stop run here in YM. Stop me if you've seen this pattern. Here you go. Here's your ATR. Retested. Actually retested. Well, it was there or there. Here's your retest. Confirm. It's all over the place all day long. All right, so I've already missed this trade. Potentially, if this was a bearish event. It was a bearish event, but if I could have. This is crossing right now, so I couldn't have put on barks and licks because remember I need algo guy in my favor, but it's crossing right now. So there's a couple different trades I could potentially take here. Relative volume is not heightened, so I can't. I was going to take a heavy Al strategy, algo guy cross with a volume event. That's this guy, but it's not. It doesn't really matter because I need to see the heavy relative volume, but I like showing you guys what I'm talking about here. Where's it at? Yeah, right here. Algo guy cross with heavy relative volume trade. So you can see here there's no heavy relative volume in YM right now. So that trade is not applicable. What we possibly have here is an A plus reversion, maybe. Yeah, barely. So guys, I know I'm jumping from strategy to strategy, but again, it's like I even hear it from my trade room. It's like they say they're drinking from a fire hose. I'm trading live, and I'm trading multiple markets, so I have to, and I'm trading multiple strategies in multiple markets. So, you can always watch the replay. You can get the data feed. My room, if you remember my room, you get the data feeds for 4 years. You can go back, replay the day, and stop the video, and and figure out what I'm doing. But I'm trading real time. That's what my course is for, that you can get in here, you can get in the course, learn all of this, so when you're watching me live, you know what the hell I'm talking about, right? Because otherwise you're trying to learn on the fly. Let me get some of this crap off of the subchart. Still waiting, Vadim, for you to get these subchart tabs where I can funnel through the different things that instead of having everything on one subchart, so hopefully he's listening. Anyway, Off of this guy, I can still take barks and licks, right? Because that will get crossed as long as this newest event doesn't prove bullish. What does that mean? It means if it can push an ATR out of here, which is the blue line. So this is the Scotch zone jar too. So I did all of this for years, with my naked eye and plugging in the spreadsheet. Well, you still get access to the spreadsheet as a member of my trade room, but the spreadsheet is what the zone jar is. It's just putting the spreadsheet on the heat map, and it shows you these values and how much you should put on. I hate this new version. Johan's the developer of this. He's a member of my trade room. He's made a version. Some people like it because they don't want to see all these numbers all over the place, and that's fine. But he's coming up with an option in the new version where you can either have the numbers that are always on, which I like because I don't like having to come back and hover over the zone, especially when I'm trying to trade quickly. But right now I have to hover, and it's really annoying. Anyway, I forgot what I was even saying there. Oh, well, as long as this guy doesn't prove to be bullish, I can still put on shorts off of this guy and then potentially off this guy. So that's step number one. Let's see where we're at with the bark and lick, and then let's see where we are with areas. So I could have taken an Izzy here too. So I completely missed this trade, right? So you can see here. So this is getting interesting too, right? This may be a warning for these other markets. That's a balance. That's a balance. That is a failed balance breakdown of that one, and this was an FBB of this one. I'm sorry, breaking bad. Current balance breakout through the prior high volume node of the prior balance. This is inherently very bullish. For this market to be coming back like this, that's not bullish. It's still not ridiculously bullish, but are bearish. But if this gets through this looks like it's going to get killed. And then you can also remember everything's fractal, a failed balance breakout of the bigger structure. So there's a lot going on here. This is very interesting. You can see it recaptured that tail, or it's trying to right now. So things are starting to look interesting here. And when I say interesting, I love shorting because I love when these longs get their asses handed to them. And this is what we're talking about here. See that tail? If that gets through there, then this is going to get really, really fun, I think, to the downside. So we'll see. There's no events yet here. I did miss the Izzy trade here. Again, this is what I was pointing out. So the market moved up. This was already a whopper trade. I hope my trade room caught this one. This one was like golden. I could have still caught it. The market was still hovering around here when I pulled this up right now. But there's a volume event in the inflection zone. So I draw these zones, the 4 important areas of charting. You can get access to this stuff too in my trade room. I have a website you can get these zones to. But anyway, all I'm looking for is, in this case, an Izzy zone with a volume event. Izzy's are supposed to be fade trades, so it moved into this inflection zone, and I should have been short right there. And that's a quick 200 tick plus move there that I missed, so that's not cool. Or 100 tick move. Anyway, so I missed that short, but we have short stuff brewing here. So what I was getting at earlier, we have a couple different trades now. I could take an A+ reversion trade where you're looking for a move back into for this reversion where I'm taking these ATRs. So the one ATR is in that zone. As long as the entry for the reversion trade is in the zone, it doesn't have to be in it. It could be before it, but as long as the stop is outside of the zone, that's an A+ reversion. Because meaning A+ means we already know the propensity for these markets to move back to the event, right? Just like we saw over here, right? So there was naturally a reversion trade, but then when you have a prior event that fired off, it's even better chance of it coming back because you have traders that are loaded up in that area. So you would enter there and there, which I will do if it comes back there. That's an A+ reversion. In the meantime, like I said, this is starting to look very interesting to the short side. So a little lower here, I'm going to be trading double-sized shorts because it's fitting the thesis. I lost my chart. Just waiting for something in these other markets too. Like this is, like I said, and very important spot gamma levels. So everything's lining up here. If this gets back below here, spot gamma, we'll read it here in a second, is saying a quick trip to 5,800. And then the structure stuff looks like too. So I'm probably going to take triple size shorts if I start getting stuff in ES and NQ. So yeah, I set it triple size shorts. That's, by the way, the reversion Reversion course will be out by this weekend. If you guys are not on my email, go to my website and put your information in, and I will send out an update when the ATR reversion course is available, and it goes over all the stuff that I'm talking about, these reversion trades, and it's going to include the back in black trade and the regular reversions, so on and so forth. So if you guys want to know how to do it step by step, get that course. All right, what am I waiting for here? So, I missed the Izzy short. This one never retested, so now I'm waiting for a potential ATR retest here. Let's see what else we got and see if there's anything aggressive to get in, meaning first move out of the zone where I'm not waiting for a retest. Hold on here, and I want to turn on my tick strike too, so I can hear the carnage when this thing starts to get crushed. There we go. This needs to be merged, so this is telling you something too. So I lost all my merges here when I. Alright, so that YM just validated a new event. So Barks and Licks are on the table for that guy. This all needs to be merged. Sorry guys, I switched data providers. I wanted to see something and then I lost all my damn merges. So that's not cool. Alright, so this was interesting here. You were always looking for a story, a thesis, what's going on. Right? So I already showed you that the market should have ripped off of those balance areas. Well, what happened today? Try to get in this guy. Market profile composite, they're just days, value areas of days. That's where 70% of the trade occurred. That's what a value area is. And then I merged the days, and they're very powerful. So you can see it tried to get in this one, couldn't, and then tried to get out of that one, and it's back inside that. That is telling me that is very likely to happen. Again, likely, probabilities. I have no idea. I will trade bigger on shorts. So if this, I shouldn't even say if, say when, this, because it's probably 88% chance that it does, retest, confirm, fail. I'm going to take Barks Licks, and I'm going to take them double size short. In the meantime, well, I remember I was saying I could take a plus ATR reversion trade. Well, that's off the table now. Well, you could take it, but if the market pushes an ATR out of there, I don't want to be and recovers. I don't want to be fading coming back because it already showed it couldn't push through. It's already got an ATR out and it's showing you something if it comes back. So it's probably confusing if you guys don't know what I'm talking about reversion wise. But I'm not going to put that one on now. Now I'm just looking for position trades, bark and lick, and I'm going to trade double size. And then again, these other markets, I'm just waiting for an NQ. You're probably going to get some stops here momentarily in both markets if it gets a little lower here. But this thing gets back below here, watch out. We got a nice start to the new year when we go to zero. The other thing too, though, we have a crude number today too. You got to be careful putting on positions on crude number of days. This one's still working out fine. I don't know. Did I just add to this? Yeah, I added to it. And this is probably not the brightest thing because they just whipsaw the thing left and right. When we have a half hour the number, maybe we can get a move up. But I probably shouldn't have double size here on this. It's not double size. I took two different events, but it's just days of numbers. Wait till the number comes out because the big money's not playing until the number comes out, and then you got these algos whipsawing you to death. Right, let me get tick strike going here. Remember? We got questions. Or if you got questions, throw them in the YouTube. John Gaynor, so cool. Your strategies are so concrete. Thank you, John. I can't follow along. So guys, again, this is what I tell my trade room all the time. These strategies are not meant for you to get in there and take every strategy. These are my strategies in my head for the last 25 years, right? It's not for you to come in and be like, oh my God, there's a slug, there's a lick. Izzy, I don't know what to do. How? Pick. It's to pick 1, 2, or 3 of these and master them and then add them. So you can pick a couple at the top of this are the position trades where I'm looking for bigger moves. Maybe pick 2 of those. Then you have the reversion strategies. Maybe look for A plus or back in black. I'll show you the back in black here in a second. It's insane how often it happens, especially off of important levels. We'll go over that. And then we we have the auto fade strategies where it's sexy gexy, where the minute the event fires off, we're not waiting for a move out, we're jumping in, right? So there's something for every type of trader. If you're the type of trader, and there's not many of them, that likes to sit in position trades and look for bigger moves, right? Because it's very trying on your mental capacity or your mental framework, or not framework, but it's just hard to sit in trades watching it whipsaw back and forth, right? I've conditioned myself, but it took me a long time to be able to just sit in trades. That's why I was a scalper back in the day. But then we have that trade, and then we have the reversion trade, which is more of a scalp trade, right? Where we're just looking for a move back to the zone. And again, this is all part of the spreadsheet and the zone drawing tools. So the top part of this is for the position trades. The bottom part of it is for the reversion trades, and that's what the zone drawing tool shows too. And then for you R traders that just roll your eyes every time I say I'm waiting for the move out of the zone, and I'm waiting for, I'm risking 30 points in the ES on trades and stuff. It's because of just from watching so many of these, that's the best way to do it. There are certain trades, these auto fades, where you jump in right in the middle of the zone. They don't happen. Sexy Gexy happen all the time, but TikTok, Sexy Gexy, we'll go over these if we cross that bridge. But there's something for everybody's mental trading style. And you've got to figure out what your trading style is. Like I said, most traders gravitate towards scalps because they can't stand the whipsaws, especially the traders that are staring at their P&L. So like I've said many times back in the day, I'd have my P&L up and I'd be watching myself, back and forth, a small car every time my P&L, spiked or went down, went down. And I'm watching these dollar amounts, and when you look at dollar amounts, you're thinking about things in real world terms, right? Which makes you freeze when you're like, oh my God, that's my. We got gold stuff. That's my car payment for the next 5 years. Oh my God, I just lost that. Wait, I just made it back, right? So the minute I turned off the P&L is when I took off as a trader. All right, by the way, this is coming back. I didn't do anything here. I should have looked for a back in black here, meaning there was no, the problem here is, actually, this is my own fault. The YM doesn't have doesn't have options, so there's no GEX levels for the options, but I could have brought on the diamond, and I guarantee there's something bounced off something there. Anyway, I could have taken this. Hold on here. Let's see. Yep. So this was the 2 ATR back in black. This is one of my important areas. Bounced off of that. Real close to the blue lug here too. So say it comes back off the blue lug, I'll take this. But this is just playing for a reversion back to this zone. So I may get lucky here. So if that comes down, bounces off the blue lug, I'm going to take the back and black trades back to this amount. So remember, I just said I think these markets are going to get killed. That's fine. They can get killed after it comes back and retests the zone. So anyway, if it comes down, hits the blue lug, because the point of control was basically right there. Remember, you're waiting for it to tag and start coming back. So if this moves down, hits the blue lug, I'm going to take the 2 and the 1 ATR back to the zone, possibly the 3. We'll see. So we got that potential trade coming up. And then if it does retest and come back down, then I want to put on barks and legs. And I'm putting them in double size. So again, I missed the original trade here, which is very painful to look at right now. And I literally was on the webinar talking about this, and it just spiked out. This was the Izzy trade. So how good is that trade right now? Right? 300 ticks almost. That's a good trade. 300 points, I should say. That hurts. All right, so we're waiting for that to happen. All right, crude is rolling here. We are at a GEX level. I'm going to get out of a few here. If it struggles here, this is an important area. So to the trading in the zone document. Right, I'm very consistent on where I get out of my position trades, partial exits. I pay myself as the market makes money available to me. And these are all my areas: Ludwig levels, market composites, highs, lows, POCs. So that's what I was talking about, the back in black. POC is a point of control of that value area, that market profile composite. VWAP extreme standard deviation, spot gamma levels, method Q levels. This is a method Q level, number 1. Let's see if we have confluence here. This is also extreme standard deviation of VWAP, and we're real close to red lug. So I will be getting into all of these, and I don't need to see an exact exact tag of the red lug. If it's close, especially with this number coming out here in 22 minutes, I'm out. Lug is what I'm referring to are Ludwig levels. That's in here as well. Ludwig levels. The second most powerful thing I've ever seen in trading, futures trading. Go to our site and join the 3-day trial. You can try them out yourself and see for yourself, and say you saw them on the Bookmap webinar, and you'll get special pricing for that. Did this just retest? You gotta be kidding me. It hasn't retested yet, so I still got the revert. Remember, if it retests, it hits any of these ATRs and retests the zone, then everything else is off the table for the reversion trades. This hasn't retested yet, so I still potentially have those reversion trades. What was I showing? Oh, crude. I want to get out of. Again, I don't need to see an exact tag of that lug. So when I say lug, I'm just saying Ludwig. It's Ludwig levels for short. So I don't have to say Ludwig level 85 times in a webinar. These were good trades. Just see if we can get one more rip up there. And you'll watch the tick strike too. So this is telling you there's heavy buying. There's different ways of like current buying or selling. There's a couple different ways you can look at that. The tick strike or market pulse. So market pulse is tick strike on steroids. So they built market pulse because I requested it like 3 years ago, because I said we need a better version of this, because the tick strike is great. I've been using it for almost 15 years now to alert me of markets firing off, and I have that. This is the meter. It's from 1 to 15. If 15 is max, right? So you can see the last thing that you'll see this light up if more buying comes in. So it's just letting you know. So how I used to use this is because I can't watch. Obviously, nobody can. 10 markets, 20 markets at a time. It would let me know, oh, something's going off in that market. So you can also use this to judge when it gets to important areas. If it's quiet, then you like, okay, it doesn't have the power to push through, so on and so forth. But anyway, market pulse is that, and I'm using the delta. This is this right here. So this is the volume, pressure, and balance. So we have the price change too. We'll look at that, but the volume, pressure, and balance. So all I do is I use default for everything, and I change it to an hour. So it's just telling me when it spikes to the biggest buying or selling in the last hour. These got close, but they did not get there. They'll color. It'll color a certain. I'm sure we can find a couple here. Like here, you see how it's colored yellow. So this was telling you something early on, right? You can see without the SI events are king. Stop iceberg events are king. But this was telling you, buyers got aggressive here. Buyers got aggressive here. Buyers got the most buying in the last hour. So that's telling you that it had a chance to do it. Not that buyers aren't wrong sometimes or sellers aren't wrong. We have a pattern for that. But the point is, this was telling you they were being aggressive, right? And it hasn't got there yet. But I mean, right here, it got close here. So anyway, my point is, I'm trying to use that to judge at the lug, so on and so forth, that were important areas, whether it can push through. So if this starts to come back through this GEX level, I'm getting out of half. Actually, I'm just going to get out of all these right now, because I'm not going to be able to watch it. The number's coming out. I'm going to forget, and then it's going to rip down $2 probably, and then I'll forgotten to get out. So I'm out close enough. I mean, I usually wait a little closer to the lug, but we got the number coming out, and I'm watching too many things. So, and if you're long, congratulations. Now it's going to rip off the page, because that's how it works when I do things like that. All right, this is getting interesting. I would love a vibe event in these other products, so I can drop the bomb on them, drop the hammer. Let's see here. James, hey Scott, how do you place your stops so you aren't taken out of trades? So that's all part of my process with these volume event. Right, so that's part of the zone drawer. You don't need the zone drawer. I did it by hand for years. Zone drawer is going to make your life a lot easier. I will promise you that. But the way I get out of where I put my stops to avoid this kind of nonsense, which is going to happen 80 to 90% of the time. If I get in a trade, I'm not in this one yet. I was waiting for that hasn't happened yet. So this is my entry. My stop is on the other side of the zone. ATR plus 15% this way. So that allows, because if I'm going to be wrong on a trade, I demand this thing to push back. So say I got in right there, right? I demanded to push back the ATR, push back through the volume event, and push another ATR plus out of there, and then I say uncle. That helps me avoid this. So that's where I trail my stop to. And then if I get another event, then I trail my stop to that event. So we saw it in crude. Actually, I'll show you in gold too, because I was long gold this morning. Right? So with these events, this is what I did. We went over this at the beginning of the webinar. I don't know if you were on it, but I talked about this already, right? ATR, retest, confirm. I got long that. My stop for this guy was right there. A new event, I moved my stop there. I moved it. I don't want to confuse people. I don't want to stop out in prior events, so I moved it a little bit below there. But just pay attention to the yellow line. So event, stop. New event, move my stop. New event, move my stop. That's how I trail my stops. I do not just randomly trail my stops in the middle of nowhere. It's just, that is you imposing your will on the market. I trail my stop based on something that's happening in the market. That is the biggest fault of traders, of retail traders, is this, I'm moving my stop to break even now. And I've even seen some, again, I always use air quotes for educators. There have been some, decent ones that over the years that I've listened to and, watched. And even they try, I'm not going to, this is a great profit. I'm not going to let it turn into a loser. Yeah, I understand that, but that's just you randomly putting, if I got in right here and now, okay, I got a nice winner, I'm going to move my stop there. You're just asking to get algoed out of the trade. That's just, it makes no sense to me. Use something that's happening in the market. That's fine if you say you tag something and you're like, okay, now if it comes back, I'm going to risk an ATR or whatever, but I wait for a new event. This is the reason I get out of some of my trade as we hit important areas. So that I don't need to trail my stop because I'm usually piecing out of portions of my trade as the market moves in my favor, aka makes money available to me. Other than that, I don't trail my stop until I see another event. That's the rant. First New Year's rant of the 2025. Does that make sense, James? So the short answer is I forced the market to move an ATR out of the zone the other way. ATR plus, right? The blue line is the ATR, the current ATR. I make it get ATR plus 15% just because I know the propensity for these markets to tag the ATR and come back. So I don't want to get stopped out at the ATR and watch it come back. So that's how I do it. Again, this is just from watching tens of thousands of these, probably more, over the last 8 years, right? So I keep saying, I always tell traders, like, if you think you got a better method, great, but watch about 50,000 of them and then let me know if you have a better method, right? And I'm all ears if you do, but this is the best way that I've determined, because you have to remember 80% or more of the trade are just algos. You look at this market, look at the algos in here. You see this heat map? These are algos. And this is too, right? Most of the trade is like that, right? So most of the time, until the big money comes in here and unloads or buys it, then it's going to trade like that. Well, I'm not going to get stopped out of my position on that kind of type of trade. I refuse to. So if they could push this again, an ATR through the zone and all the way an ATR this way, then I say, uncle, you win, stop out, on to my next trade. All right, like I said, I got out of crude before this number, but congratulations, it will make it up to that red lug. I will bet on it, but I'm out because I can't watch it. So these are basically the only trades I've done today. I'm not trading. I'm not going to trade grains right now. So those were the crude bark and lick I put on. I'm actually supposed to hold the lick trade till we get to liquidity. Remember we were talking about this liquidity. But the number's coming out, so otherwise I would still be in this crude trade. So remember I was talking about that liquidity that the guy moved up, or whoever it was moved up. So I would have held it to that. There's still a way I could put these back on after the number, but this is liquidity I was talking about here. Whoever that is, very likely this is the same entity, right? It just disappears here and comes here. So that's the liquidity I was trading to, but there's a number coming out, so I'm not. You could hold through numbers. You're just rolling dice, though. So anyway, those were those trades. This was just an error, and then I had it on from the weekend. It didn't liquidate, and then where's gold? Oh yeah, that's the gold. So gold, we haven't even talked about that yet. Those are the first trades I put on today, and there's great examples of sexy Gexies, back at blacks. I mean, there was like everything in gold this morning. So this is the first trade I put on. Market moved down, and here we saw the same exact thing on Friday, where here's your Gex level. The stop run was through it. But again, these are areas, they're not exact prices, even though these method Q levels and spot gamma levels are pretty spot on. It went kind of through it. I jumped in right in the middle of the zone. This is this trade here. Lots of grain action. Maybe I should go over there since nothing's happening in equities. Take any fade trade into a spot gamma and or method Q gamma level. Trade is taken immediately when the opposing SI event fires off. Market moving, in this case, market moving lower with a sell stop run, or by icebergs. This was a sell stop run. Be wary of taking sexy Gexies if the relative volume is elevated, because if you see relative volume elevated, it means bigger money's playing, and we're playing for a dealer reaction, because the dealers have to hedge at these areas, so you know there's going to be a bounce or a potential bounce. But if the big money's in here, the dealers can be hedging all they want. The bigger money's bigger, and they're going to run them over. So just be careful if you see relative volume heightened 200% or more to take sexy Gexies. Anyway, I got long there, and then stop me if you've seen this pattern. ATR, retest, confirm. Actually, I did not take, but I didn't take the Barker lick because that guy was not, it was like right on top of each other. I wish I did now, but the only thing I took was a sexy Gexie because it was like right here. It was literally blue was on top of the red, so I didn't take it. Which one did I take? So I know I took sexy Gexie, and I took fail balance breakout. So this is a more advanced. So again, the bottom of these trading strategies, or the bottom of the first page, are more advanced, where you need to understand structure stuff. But it was this one. I put this in my trade room right here. You guys can see my delightful trade room. So I do this every day. Where are we at? Right here. Long, sexy Gexie, and FBB. That was this morning. This is before all that happened. So it came down. I got long, sexy Gexie in there. Is that crude? What was that? I'll check in a second. But anyway, this was balance. Attempted breakdown. This is what this arrow is. Got through it. Closed here. Opened up here. I take when this pattern occurs, when you have a failed balance breakdown, we're looking for these exact things in equities the other way. The first volume event I get, which was this, which was that, I jump in aggressively. This one did retest as well, but I jumped in aggressively, and it was a nice trade. And then I trailed. This is another great example here. Who was asking? James. So this is a good example of trailing my stops. And I did get stopped out of this, but it's it's fine. It was a winning trade, as you saw. It went further. It went higher, but you don't know what's going to happen. So what I did here. This is the event I just showed you. Right, got long sexy Gexie, and I got long fail balance breakout. Right, so sexy Gexie, I entered it right when I heard it in the zone, and my other strategies, I wait for it to push out an ATR plus. Right, then it came up here, new event. I trailed my stop for this one was down here. Right there, ATR was actually pretty elevated today. So guys, this adjusts to the ATR, aka the volatility. That's what you want to do. You don't want to have. That's another huge retail trader error, where they have these static stops. Like when I trade gold, I love if I risk 10 ticks to make 20. Well, great. What do you do when the ATR is 50? You're risking 10 ticks. You're going to get stopped out of probably every trade just on noise. So anyway, that's the beauty of the zone drawing tool. It adjusts to the ATR and the spreadsheet. Right? They're the same thing, like I said. So anyway, my stop for the longs were here. The sexy Gexie, I do get out of half the minute it punches out of there, because I'm just looking for that dealer reaction, and then I held half, right, for a bigger trade, because I'm trading off a volume event, right? There are guys that trade these Gex levels naked, meaning not that they're trading naked, because I don't want to think about that, meaning they just take the trades into the thing. That's great. They work more often than they don't. I need to see a volume event, right? So anyway, I held on to that. I trailed my stop to that guy, which was here. Another event, which was also a sexy Gexy. I did take this too. Look at this, right? So I got out of my sexy Gexy that I was long when I heard this, and I turned around and jumped in short, and I got out of the first move out of there. I got out of some, and I got out of some more here. But anyway, for my FBB long, I trailed it up, trailed, came down, stopped me out, which is fine. It did bounce off put support and went higher. There's guys, it's fine. That was a good trade. You saw it on the P&L, right? This was the FBB. I take the sexy Gexys on my other account, but that was this trade. I mean, this was the FBB. I'm risking $500. That's a good trade, right? It's got stopped out. I follow my rules. And then the sexy Gexy, I took on both of them. I took on this guy. So the other thing too, guys, is Apex has a sale now. You can get these accounts for $16. I think it ends tonight. So you can get in here and you can fire on some trades. And if you lose, if you blow out the account, it's $16. You can't even, if you're trading a normal account, you put on a 1 micro, you lose $16 in a blink of an eye. So anyway, that was this trade. These sexy Gexys were this trade. So I made $2,600 on those, right? I mean, on the account, the valuation account. So anyway, I put in here too on Twitter the other day. I would definitely take advantage of it, at least for today, right? Because I think it ends after today. What did I say here? So right here. Apex Trader funding with a year and 90% off of evals that are priced to the 50,000 account size. So only $16.70 for the 150 to 300,000 accounts, right? So I have that one I showed you was a 250,000 account that I paid $16 for, which I haven't seen before. They don't do this type of promotion very often because they don't. They used to do 90% nonstop, and now they do them it feels like 3 times a year. And you use that code for any sale that they have, and then resets are $35. So if you blow out of it, it's cost you $35 to reset it. Right now, if you blow out, you don't reset it; you just cancel it and then get another one because it's $16 versus $35. But if you hold it after today and you blow out, you can reset it for $35. And then if you qualify, you get it for, you pay $85, and then you have like a $5,000 or $10,000 account, whatever account size that you're trading. So this is all from them, but. So yeah, it ends tonight. So I would definitely take advantage of that. I paid for 10 more just to fire on some of these accounts. I have 3 live. I blew out of one last week because I was a complete idiot and I thought I put it on an eval account and I left my office. I took it back in black and it was at the end of the day on, I think it was last Friday. Was it last Friday? Yeah, last Friday. And I thought it was the eval account where, like I was saying, I didn't care if I lost it. And then it turned out I was on an actual account and I lost $5,000 and I was about to get paid on it. So that was not a good Christmas present. So that was just being careless. So the point is, you got to keep your head in the game, man. It's so easy to lose money. It's so hard to make money, and it's so easy to lose it. All right, so anyway, I didn't do anything off of this gold. This was another event. Potentially can take a back in black here. Let's watch it. So say if it tags this GEX 6 level, starts coming back the ATRs, I will take it. Other than that, I can put on barks and licks off of this guy. I didn't do anything off of this guy. This is when I started the webinar, so I didn't do anything off of here. And it hasn't retested anyway, this buy ice here. So we'll keep an eye on this. This tags. I could put alerts in here too. Let's put this in just so I know if it tests it. It's probably going to do it before I even get there. All right, so if that tests this GEX level, I'll be taking back in, well, it's just one. It's just the one ATR back in black, but I'll take that. Let's see what else we got. Remember, I'm looking for any import. It doesn't have to be just a GEX level. By the way, congratulations on Crude. It's going to tag that before the member in 3 minutes, guaranteed. It doesn't have to be just a GEX level that it bounces off of. It could be anything. So we remember for YM we were looking. Actually, I'm probably missing this trade too. Why not? Already missed the Whopper 300-point trade. That didn't tag the blue lug, but there you go. Hey, you guys seen this pattern before? It's insanity. It's just, it happens so often. It's just insanity. ATR. It actually tagged the 2 ATR too. 2, 1, back to the zone, out. That's the reversion trade. Again, I could have taken that back in black 1 off the point of control. I didn't do anything. I was hoping it hit the 2, so, or the blue lug, and then come back. It did not do that, so I missed another trade here. So it's been really fun watching all these awesome winners in YM and not having any part of them. But my point is now, say it comes down. Well, first of all, I'm going to short. Well, this is going to be confusing, but I'm not going to short right here. I was going to take barks and licks. The only time I don't take barks and licks is if I'm entering into the lug. Let's see if this is far enough. It's worth it. 42,840-ish. I'd be getting at. Yeah, that's all right. I'll take that. I'll take the bark and licks. That's 60 ticks. But I try not to take barks and licks, into the lugs. The lugs are very powerful. There's a reason we use them, right? The reason I use them because they are. I'll show you one today. There was no volume event, but there you go. Right off the blue lug. Right off the blue lug. So I try my best not to take trades into the lugs unless I see heavy relative volume. Or my thesis says, okay, this is completely breaking down. I'm going to give it a shot in the lug because, you ask my trader, I get burned all the time trying to trade into those things. That's why I use them, because they're extremely powerful. Anyway, this comes back. I'm shorting YM. I was going to trade double size. I'm not going to trade double size until we get new lugs, but I will take this 42,902 bark and lick, and I can put on five micros. Again, this is adjusting, right? If you're just trading one big one, first of all, you can't even put it on unless you want to risk double your risk amount. 2, you can't get out as the market moves in your favor. It's, a partial, right? So I'd rather put on 5, or even if it was a 10, I don't put on just one big one. I put on 10 micros because I can get out of 3. All right, I better stop talking and put this in, or I'm going to miss another trade in this market. Hold on, YM. Don't be skirting away on me. 5. That entry is 901 now. You got to adjust your entry. Crude numbers coming out. So I'm putting on bark and lick here. So the bark trade just qualified. Equity bark trade. That's a live account now. So I'll put that on, and I'll show you guys the updated P&Ls for all these different. Hold on. Look. All right, those are working. So this is the updated P&Ls for this stuff. So again, if you guys are new to this, what I do is I have all these Apex accounts that I assign to each one of these strategies, right? And then as they go live, then they go live. But they'll all be live eventually. They've been live, and then I had a FBB live last 3 weeks ago. I did the same thing. I was careless. I forgot I had a position on. I left. They closed me out, blew the account. It's just stupid crap like that. But the point is, they'll all be live because there's an edge in every one of them because I'm using SI offense at important areas. Well, I'm trying to find this thing. Let's see here. There you go. So this one just went live. And again, guys, I'm only risking $500 per trade, so it takes a while. So these are all the new ones that I just remember. I said I'd open up 10, open up 5 on. Or 4 on here and 6 on Trade of 8 because that's where I'm doing the sexy stuff and BIBs. But anyway, this is where's it at? This one is the bark equities. So that hasn't even had a trade yet because that just qualified. So these are all the different ones. So that one's up $4,500. Again, it doesn't seem like a lot, but I'm trading $500 risk. So this is what you need to do with a real account anyway. You need to be controlling your risk, and it builds up. And as you make money, then you increase your risk. That's the beauty of the zone drawer that you can put your risk in, or the spreadsheet, which you get as part of my room. This is the same thing, right? So say this week, I would probably do it weekly. You don't want to do it daily, but say this week I made $5,000. Now I change this to 10,000, and then it adjusts your risks. It adjusts your sizing, and this is static, but adjusts your risk and sizing. So anyway, you can see all these are just gradually building up. Some of them are 150, some of them are 250s. That one's up 4,500, 6,600. These are new ones, 4,000, 2,000, 5,000, 1,000, 4,000, 2,500, 4,200, 1,900, 1,600, 7,700, $300, for these. So you see, they're all profitable because it's not every trade's a winner. Nothing is a winner. But if you have an edge, that's what I'm trying to show you guys, right? And these are my strategies. You can see the numbers on here. So that's what I have here. Apex 174. Actually, I have sexy Gexies on the trade ovates, but anyway, that's what that is. All right, this thing is not turned up long enough or loud enough that I can't hear it. All right, so I'm short here. YM. This should get interesting, guys. Like, I can't believe we haven't had an event in ESRNQ, but you're going to be getting it here shortly. I got to watch this blue lug here. Here we go. How about a swipe to 0? I'm going to take some of these off into this lug. I should be taking them all off. Here it is. So if this bounces at all, I'm going to get out. I mean, it's not a huge profit, but it's half an R in a heartbeat. Give it a second here. So this is where you want to use the tick strike. See the YM tick strike? So I'm going to try to hold this and see if we can bust through this lug. I don't usually hold it if I don't see heavy relative volume. Yeah, see, it's picking up. So this is why. I mean, there was a couple time bars ago. But the point is, there's big money in here. All right, let's see if we can push through here. Other than that, to piece out of these, the next area down is probably another 100 points away. So if this starts to rebound, though, I'm getting out of these. And then, there's another trade right around the corner. What was that? Oh, I took, I'm long soybeans too off of that buy ice I showed you guys earlier. I'll show you there in a second. So you see how I'm able to, using tick strike? Again, guys, you get discounts to this too. It's in that thing. I'm able to try to hold this if I see this thing getting walloped, right? It's already 40 ticks through the blue lug. This is getting real interesting. There it is. There's your stop run. Bye-bye. All right, there's your stop run. This is a sexy Gexy. I'm very afraid to take it, but I'll take it on this account because that's why I have my strategies. I don't know what's going to happen next, so I take them.
Order filled.
All right, so sexy Gexies, actually, I got to keep an eye on this YM. This is where I always make mistakes, right? I'm staring at ES. I put out a sexy Gexy, we'll go over this, but I don't want to let this thing bounce back. I mean, this is an awesome trade. And is this the bottom of that market profile composite? Because I'm going to get out of half of these if it is. It's not quite there. I'm just going to put an order in here at 735. I'm going to put it at 740. See, this is already bouncing back on me, you little piglet. Hold on here. So I'll put it just in front of that market profile composite low. Bark and lick. Why do I only have? All right, we should be getting new lugs here. That would make me feel much better. Come on. Nope. All right, 35. All right, if it bounces back up there, we are at extreme standard deviation too. So you have all these, cross currents that these algos played for this happening here. I don't have the problem. I don't have here is I'm just gonna get out of 2 of these because I got 7 of them on. Hold on. Just because I don't know if this is a Method Q level because I got to bring in the new levels. So that's the cool thing about Method Q because they're not on the Bookmap. Everything else is on Bookmap, but YM because they don't actually have options. You got to bring in the blind spots, the DIA, the ETF. So you go over here. So you can get them for Bookmap, obviously, as you saw, but you can get them here, and then you go in here, the query bot. This is Method Q. I put the discount on the thing. Here, TV list, and then you hit DIA. Here we go. Here comes the bounce, by the way. So I guarantee this was a level. I didn't get on any of these guys. Hold on here. All right, and then you copy that. So if you have TradingView or NinjaTrader, you can bring these in there too. You don't have to get them on Bookmap if you feel like you have too many on the chart, too much crap on the chart as it is. So let me get rid of these. These are from the other day. go to indicators, method Q, paste it in there, apply. I may have to see if it does that little exclamation point, then you come in here, go to settings, and then you have to go to this conversion here, DIA to YM, hit OK, it should populate. There they are. Alright, so that went through the put support, so there's nothing down here, but then I want to bring in blind spots too. I think they have them for here. Let's see, BL. Gotta go backspace. BL list. I don't think they have them for YM. No. Alright, let's try it for DIA. BL. DIA. There you go. Let's bring these in. This is because YM doesn't have futures. Doesn't have options. So you got to do it here. And these levels work just as well. So now I'm going to add these in too. I don't know why those didn't populate, but all right. So what I was worried about is I was not, the thing was bouncing off a gamma level and I missed it. So the next one down is here at 723. That's real close to that market profile composite. So I'm fine with holding on to these. I probably didn't have to get out of those that I already did. I just was afraid we were bouncing off of a level. So I'll just, I have some more to get out at the bottom of this. These are areas that I get out, right? This is market profile composite low. I'll get out of that. All right, in the meantime, over to ES. I don't know what I'm doing. I did get long sexy Gexy here. So the sexy Gexy, so guys, like this does not look bullish at all. Like this market looks like it's going to get smoked, right? So first of all, if this does move lower, I took the sexy Gexy. That's just one trading strategy. This thing, here's your volume event right at this high volume node of this balance area. This is the trade, right? So if this, that is the quintessential fail, but first of all, it retook that tail, which is telling you something right there. If it comes here, we got the volume event, first move out of the volume event, that's an FBB, failed balance breakout. And you could take a breaking bad. I don't know, that's not really in play here because it got through that high volume node, so forget that idea, don't even listen to me on that. So if this ES moves lower, well, first of all, I'm going to get out of half. So the way I play these sexy Gexys, so just, I'm talking about two different trading strategies here, right? I got long sexy Gexy into that Gex level with an event right smack dab in the middle of it. If it moves out the ATR, I'm going to get out right at the reversion, meaning in front of the ATR. I'm out of half of those because I'm just looking for a dealer response, right? That's the whole idea. I'll hold half because this is a volume event, and my position trades, I go for bigger moves off of volume events. So that's the sexy Gexy. I will stop out of sexy Gexy down here, 11.5. So you can see the difference in if I took a long, I would be waiting for position trades. I'd have to wait for it to get all the way out of here, 44.5. I got in at like 25, right? So that's 20 points of risk. This is a huge ATR in here today, by the way. Is that real? ATR is 12? Holy crap. I can't remember the last time I saw 12 ATR in here. I mean, besides like a Fed number. That's why I'm risking so much, but this adjusts to your size. So anyway, if this, see right now I can only put on 3 micros. Actually, I got way too many on here on I put them on. I mean, who cares? It's not, like I said, guys, I'm risking $16 on the sexy Gexy account on the TradeObate, so I'm fine with it. But I put 3 big ones on. That means I'm risking like $3,000 on the trade. It's fine. Anyway, if this breaks down right now, I'll stop out of my sexy Gexy, but I'm going to go short FBB, and I'm going to trade at triple size, right? Why? Because of the thesis I've been talking about the entire time, and Spot Gamma said if we break 5,900, it's probably, and I'm going to read it here in a second, probably a quick trip to 5,800. When he talks like that, he doesn't very often. When he does, I'm talking to Brent from Spot Gamma, you want to pay attention because it happens almost every time. And he's just basing it. You see what I'm doing here? I'm making a thesis off of structure and off of the Spot Gamma options thesis that he says. We'll read that here in a second. So my point is, if this does break lower, I'm going to take FBBs and I'm going to take them triple size, meaning I can put on 9 versus 3, right? So I'm risking $1,500 on those trades versus 5. All right, 11 quarter FBB. And I'm currently long sexy Gexy. And I want to get out of half of those right here. I got 3 on. I'll get out of 2 of them here, just because of my thesis too. 41.75. Let me put that one in case it spikes up there. 41.75. All right, those are working. And if it breaks down, I'm going short FBB. That trade's now at 11. Got questions? Put them in. I heard someone put something in the trade room. Let's see what I'm gonna bet it's Dune Runner, the teacher's pet. Where is it at here? No, Grumpy. Teacher's pet number 2. SPX at SPOC at 1 day implied low. So that's another thing you want to watch. I've been burning on that puppy too. Where I'm putting on shorts into the implied low. Let's see what we got here. What am I looking for? I want to read you guys spot gamma too. So you can see it on the trace. Yeah. So this is one of the reasons we're bouncing. So, you know, I got the sexy Gexion. Right? I took it into the gamma level, the method Q gamma levels, and this is the 1 day implied low. So, and it's also telling you something if it doesn't bounce here. It's telling you it's going to 0, very likely. Again, I'm being a little sarcastic. Let's look at Hero. So Hero's not doing much. I mean, he has dropped 800 million, and he talks about $1 billion notional. So what's this? This is just the options activity. So dealers get loaded up with options, right? The general public is selling options. The dealers are buying them because they're the dealers. They're on the other side of the trade. Well, then they have to turn around and come into the futures and hedge with futures, meaning they're selling futures, right? So it's not moving that big right now. So that tells me that a lot of this is not, because these are not the only players in the market. They are most of the time the biggest play. This and algo is 80% of the time, but the other 20% of the time, the big money's coming in here to unload. So we saw last week, or I can't remember, it was the week before, Hero was kind of just doing this, and the market sold off like 40 points. Well, that's telling me that wasn't dealer activity. That's all it's telling me. Most of the time is dealer activity. This Hero, especially when nothing's going on, just watch this thing. These jackasses they just run the market back and forth buying and selling options, and knowing the dealers have to hedge. Like I said before, if I would have known about this kind of activity, how important it was back in my scalping days, every time I get loaded up in the S and I didn't have any more bullets in the S, I would just come and buy some options because I know the dealers have to hedge, that kind of thing, right? So pay attention to that. Did I not get filled on that shit? No. So here's another thing too. Well, that's far enough away. But say the GEX level, the next GEX level up is right in front of that, my exit, which is that ATR. You can get out of some there. I should have got out of one there. I just missed it, right? Meaning you don't have to try to, especially if it's like a point, you know, I don't have to wait for that because I know it's going to bounce off there very likely because the dealers are hedging. All right, so I didn't get out of any there. If it comes up there, I'll get out 41 and a half. Hold on there. Yeah, I'll get out of 2 of them, of the 3. Other than that, what are other long position trading strategies I can put on here? All right, we got the volume event. I better hurry up because I may miss it. We did get new lugs in Dow. I got out of a couple. I'm still short there though. Didn't quite get here. So this is a good example of this was close enough. I should have just got out some more here. But that's because I'm watching all these markets. I can't. I'm just missing stuff. This is a pick. You know, this stuff's been in here for a while, but that's a profile composite. That's a profile composite. So you had the bottom of this one and the top of that one. So I can go long a pick trade. Sorry for the pink. So if this moves out of here in ATR, the pick position trade. What's a pick? It's just a volume event at the market profile composites highs or lows. That's this trade strategy. Profiles encourage. Take any trade that moves. Again, guys, are meant to be funny names too. Remember, this was a book by JFK. Profile, get it? Market profile. That I'm very witty like that. Take any trade that moves into or out of a market profile composite high or low. Trade can be taken, market moves out of composite and then back to the higher low. So this trade is subjective as far as your entry, whether you want to get in aggressively or not. I'm going to take this one aggressively, meaning, well, let's see. Yeah, I'll take this aggressively because it's still not through that high volume node of that balance area, right? If it was through there, then I would wait for an ATR retest. Hold on. Where's that? Of course, course, I lost my chart. Right, I'm long soybeans. We'll go over that. It's moving in my favor, and we have a new event, so I can try my stops. So my point is, for that market profile or that pick trade, see how it bounced right there, right at the volume node. But say it was down here. If I'm going to take a long pick, I need to see ATR retest confirmed. This actually held where it should have for right now, so I'll take it first move out, meaning that's not the right market. It's gold. Sorry, take that out of there. So I had another chance. I might just get out of one of these here because
Order filled.
I'm an idiot. I had two different chances to get out of the one into this Gex level, and I didn't do it. All right, so other than that, this is where I'm getting out of another one. The reversion one entry where I usually go short. This is a sexy Gexy where I'm just looking for the dealer move. We already had the dealer move, and it bounced off this twice, so that's why I got out of one. So hopefully I'm not confusing you guys, but my original exit for half of these was right here, or for two of the three. So hopefully it'll get up there. Other than that, now back to the position trading. I know I'm going back and forth, but I'm just trying to go over all these strategies that I'm taking, right? This moves out of here. I already got long sexy Gexy. I'm going to get out of two of the three there. Then I'll let one ride if it keeps going. But then I have a potential pick trade where I will get in if it pushes out to there. That is 45 is my entry, and I can put on 3. That's the pick trade. Is this an Izzy? It's real close. I would, again, these are zones, they're not exact prices, but she had the volume event right at the top of this. So I would take an Izzy trade too, long. If this does not confirm long, then I could take barks and licks to the short side and possibly a pick to the short side. See how the algo guy's bearish? So we'll see what happens here. That's why I force the markets to move the ATR out of here. That tells me what is more likely to happen. I don't know. The only trades I have auto entry are the sexy Gexies, meaning I get in right in the middle of the zone, and TikTok when you get an extreme tick reading in the NYSE or NASDAQ tick. Other than that, I force these markets to push out of here. All right, so I'm going to go long pick an Izzy if this moves out of here. Unfortunately, I thought we were going to see Armageddon. Guess not. Not yet anyway. 80. And, this is a different... we might finally start to see real set. All right, so I filled on the sexy Gexy right there. So I got one on. I got out of one at the gamma level here, or close to it. It was running away. And I got out of one here. Right, sexy Gexy. So that worked. Here's your retest of that gold, by the way. Oh, see, I can't do it, though. So here, tell me if you guys, stop me if you've seen this pattern. Raise your hand if you've seen the pattern. ATR, back to the zone. So remember, I was going to take those back in black trades, shorts. It already retested, so those are off the table. I didn't do anything with that. But I've already shown you about 10 today that have just hit the one ATR and retested the zone. So you may want to take advantage of that pattern. All right, so the other thing now, Barks and Licks shorts are DQ'd. Why? Because this hit the ATR above the zone. So there's no shorts off of this particular event for me. The only thing I could do is take longs. I already got long sexy Gexy. I've been talking about the whole time. I will take Barks and Licks. I did not get filled on those yet. Remember, you got to adjust this till you get filled. Now it's 44.75. Those are working. So if you took the sexy Gexy, I would have gotten out of one there. The whole idea of this is you are looking for the move into the dealer area. You got 2 there with a volume event. You want to take advantage of the dealers hedging or covering, not covering, but hedging, if you will, right? Or I'm blanking on the word, but the first dealer move, because it's going to move out of here very likely unless there's big money in here plowing through. So I take advantage of that initial move out, and then I try to hold one for a bigger move because it is a volume event. Again, just these alone are important areas that you could take bounces off of. I don't. I need to see volume events. All right, so hopefully everyone's thoroughly confused. See you guys got any questions? Lada. I really need to get with with you and get my foundation set. I have too much disorganization. John Gaynor said that most traders do. That's why most traders fail, guys. I know this looks like a lot, but trust me, this is not rocket science. We are on just looking for volume events at important areas, and then we have different trades on trading to move back to them, move out of them. This organizes it for you. This and the zone drawer and or the spreadsheet organizes for you where you get in, where you get out, the sizing, everything's done for you. So guys, then when you have all that, that's where most traders struggle. Like, oh my God, I want to be long here. Where do I go? Where do I get in? Do I get in? Do I wait? Do I wait for a pullback? This tells you everything you need to know, and then you just focus on you not being an idiot. And trust me, it's hard. I'm still an idiot after 25 years. I just told you I blew out 2 accounts in the last week because I'm a careless moron sometimes, right? So my point is, once you get all this stuff under control, then you just have to worry about not being an idiot, So, and it's very easy to do. Trust me. Your ATR is based on what time frame? This is a 5-minute Wilder's ATR. It's directly, well, most of them have it, but this is a Thinkorswim ATR right there. This is a 14 period is it 14 period? Can't remember now. Yeah, 14 period Wilder's ATR. You can Google it. They got it in Investopedia. You can read all about it. I'll talk about this in my reversion course too. I talk about the ATR as well because that's the main idea. We're taking, these are ATRs, right? This is the 1 5-minute ATR. That's the 2. That's the 3. So this will all be in the course. That course will be out this week, and I don't care if I have to stay up for the next 48 hours to finish it. It will be out. Again, if you want to get the email about it, join my mailing list on my website, and you will be informed when that is out. All right, what are we doing here? Lost track of why. What was that? Of course, William's coming all the way back. Oh, I filled on ES. So I just filled on ES. Pick is he longs. And I'm still long 1 sexy Gexy. There you go. I definitely want to watch this area though. Again, I don't skip getting in trades, but there's a good chance this bounces here. And here. So I'm going to get out of one of my last sexy Gexy here because it was a very nice trade. Hold on, let me find what account I put that on. I guess I got out of the other one. I didn't mean to do that. That's not cool. So you're welcome, because I got out of all. I guess I got out of all of them here. The rest of them. Now it's gonna rip off the page. But anyway, if you did get long sexy Gexy, this is a great trade. Right? You're in at 25 to 27. That's a 20-point trade. Get out of some there. And here, that's the Gex 1. What else can I do here? It already retested. Did it? Was that a retest? That sucks because I could have taken the back in blacks here, but it already retested, it looks like. Let's see. Bookmap Bob will tell me too. That is real close. Real close. That's like, let's see if Bookmap Bob thought it retested. That's the guy talking in the background. Bookmap Bob, we call him. Validated. It doesn't show as a retest. It's real close though. If you want to take it back in blacks off of this level, you can. So what does that mean? It means once the market hits an important area, didn't quite tag there, but it tagged that. You can take this. It was just the 1 ATR in this case. I'll give that a shot, but it already came real close to retesting. So if I take a loss in this, then I deserve it. But if you're an algo is going to take it because it didn't actually retest. So I got to trade like an algo. It's hard to do sometimes when you think something's going to happen, right? All right, so my entry is right here at 41.75. So I didn't fill on that yet. If it comes back, I'll fill on that. That's the back in black. We're just playing back to the zone. Other than that, I'm still long. I'm going to watch these areas if it gets to there. So we have this one here that I'm not going to get out. I got into the position trade right here at 45.25. I'm not getting out at, this is almost a 5-point trade. So let's see what it does here. I can get out of, I only have 3 on. I can get out of 1, right? I'm not going to sit here and hope something happens. I know these areas we play for fades off these areas. If it can't push through, and this is where you want to be using this stuff, like tick strike, use this to judge. See how it's pretty quiet here? The only thing that's firing off is Netflix. I'll get out of 1. I already missed that. See how it's struggling here? There's just no activity up here. All right, I'm out of 1. I still got 2 on, right? And again, I don't usually do this. Meaning, if I'm getting in here, I'm not getting out right here. Like that. That's not a good risk reward, right? But this is GEX 1. This is that very, very important 5,900 level, and you can see, right? So I don't just sit here and close my eyes and hope it blows through these levels. If I see it struggling, I don't hear this stuff firing off, and I see it struggling here, I'm not just going to hold and hope. I'll get out of 1, right? Big deal. If it rips, great. I still have some on. If it comes back, then I say, hey, at least I did the smart thing. I got out of some. So what other questions you guys got? I feel like I've been talking for 4 hours. We're actually almost at the time. Exocero. During December transition period of rollover, we had low relative volume and light liquidity. How do you navigate last month? Do you measure relative liquidity? Yeah, that's all I don't look at relative liquidity. I look at relative volume. But guys, when there's no relative volume, the roll's tough, right? The one, I missed the first morning webinar basically ever, besides when I had COVID like 4 years ago. I canceled the webinar because it was literally the Monday starting the roll. The relative volume was at 20% or 30%. I'm just like, I'm not going to sit here and watch nothing happen, right? So, well, my point is, when there's nothing going on, meaning big money's not in here, when you get these events, the propensity for them to come back versus run away are so much higher. So, once again, there's something for everybody. On dead days, you can be like, you know what? There's nothing going through relative volume-wise. Pretty slow. I'm just looking for reversion trades today. I'm not going to take position trades where I'm looking for bigger moves, right? And they work. They work even when it's volatile. You're watching them work. It's nuts. They're all over the place. You pick the market. Tell me the market you want to see, and I'm going to show you a reversion back to the damn zone. They're everywhere. Speaking of which, that was crude number came out. I got out of that position, but and of course it's ripping higher. But I did get long soybeans. I'll show you this trade quickly. I'm still short YM. Damn it. I should have got out of more down there. Why can't I find the chart? Here it is. So that was that market profile composite low or high, whatever that was. And that was stupid. That was within 8 ticks. So that was really, really, really stupid of me not to get out of more there. I'm still in it. So guys, unless I get, so this is what I do, right? This is where traders, so I guarantee if traders got short with me, I will guarantee you there's traders in here that just trailed their stop to break even because it came back. I don't. I get out at important areas. I made a mistake in not getting out of more down here, but if I'm going to be wrong on the rest of these, this thing has to come all the way back, push it all multiple ATRs through the volume event and another ATR, and then I'm out of the trade, right? I don't trail my stop to break even. The only time I'm going to trail my stop is if I get a new event. Right? And I've got to accept the consequences of me not getting out of more down here like I should have. I just missed it. This is what happens when I'm on the webinars when I'm trying to cover all these different products. So I am long soybeans. We talked about this bias event this morning. This was an IZZY, and you can see there's new events here too. So this was this area. Buy ice. Where? This market looks ridiculously bullish as it is. Market opened up. Came back down, inflection zone, take the long. That's exactly what I'm in. Now, this is how I trail my stops. The stop for this was down here. This zone drawing tool is not working in grains for some reason right now because the new version, because I'm using Bookmap data, so Johan's looking into it. So if you do have Bookmap data and you're using grains, you're not going to get the quantities on here. You still get the reversion line and everything else. But anyway, my stop was down here, 0250. Now, I trail it to that. And then out of that. So now my stop's at 1150, right? So if this fails, I'm out of the trade. It's still a winning trade. Put that in. And I gotta hop off here. If you guys got any questions, put them in. I gotta get off here in a second. What trade is that? That was IZZY. All right, so that's that trade.
USRP to $5 billion, 42 spot, 6% increase at high.
Other than that, I'm long ES. It's just struggling here at these gamma levels. So if it rips higher, I've got a couple on. If it comes back, I will put it back in black on if it comes back. I already said that, right? It came real close to retesting here already. My rules are if it retests, I don't play for another retest. But, it didn't officially retest, so I'll give it a shot. Other than that, guys, like, keep an eye on these markets because, yeah, they look like you're going to do the usual bungee jump. But structure-wise, like, once again, first of all, it already overtook that buying tail. That's not bullish. But then you have buying tail again. Someone keeps trying. If this gets back below here, a New Year's zero swipe would be fantastic. And then NQ, there's been nothing in NQ today. This is very rare. Mariah Carey here, very rare. Look at these tails. Look at that. I'm telling you, if that gets back through there, I'm not psychic, but from my experience, this thing's going to get smushed, and I will be trading triple size of the shorts. Other than that, I'm just trading, my normal trades, normal size. Quickly, so spot gamma, basically, like I said, you got it. You pay attention, and you can get this for free for 2 weeks. Just go to the form, check out, put Scott in as all caps, and you get everything for 2 weeks. The hero, the trace, and his commentary. But basically he says right here, we are currently neutral in terms of our directional view of SPX 5900s. Would flip to a short stance if the SPX breaks 5900. A break of 5900 would have us on watch for a test of 5800. So that is matching the structure view too, right? So that's here. It did break it, and it's just hanging here right now. So if this comes back, watch out. That's all I got to tell you. That's all I got to say about that. All right, other than that, guys, we haven't had a chance to go through all this stuff on this sheet, but it's all on here. My zone drawing tool, members of my room get 20% off of that. Members of my room get 20% off everything. The course, I'm going to have the ATR reversion course will be out this weekend. Be on the lookout for that. There's a spreadsheet if you guys don't want to, you can't join the room. You can get the spreadsheet in the inflection zones here on this website, scottpulcinitrader.org. And then there's all my contact info, questions, so on and so forth. Twitter, I try to post a trade of the day as often as I can. Here's my trade room. I do this. This is exactly what I do every day for the trade room, what I'm doing on here. And then these are all discounts, guys. The Bookmap discount. MBO is not a discount, but you get a discount to the software. Apex Trader Funding, we already talked about that. Here's your Mentor Q discounts. Spot Gamma discount. This is 2 weeks for free. Tick Strike discounts. Trader Sync to keep track of your trades. I need to be better at that. Ludwig levels, and then there's all my reviews. All right, that's it. I guess no webinar next Thursday because they did, right in the middle of the week they decided to shut it down for the Jimmy Carter thing. So there's no market open on Thursday. I wish they just would have done it on a Friday or something, but whatever. Makes no sense to me. So no webinar next Thursday, and I will see you guys the following Thursday.